Okay. So as far as the databases go and the lenders list, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do a tutorial on it with the person that's more familiar with it. And as far as how it goes, because I'm searching it for the person that built it. If I don't, then I'm going to try to get Justin because Justin's been using it since before it was the database, before it was the pivot table, how it is now. And so we're going to basically have it so the 1.0 right now has about 800 of the 1300 lenders in it. And the reason, and I've taken out lists 4, 5, and 6, which was about 500 lenders. I have a VA kind of re-verifying they're still in business. When they come back, we'll take out there's about 50 duplicates that are in lender list 1, 2, and 3 that are part of the pivot table and part of the database. So we will take those out, but we'll have 1300. And then 2.0 will actually add about all the family offices and hedge funds. And then the 3.0 will add the pension funds, endowment funds, fund of funds, as well as 7 known databases of real estate investors in different sectors. So there'll be a database of there's going to be a database of known fix and flip investors and lenders, a database of known buy and hold single family rentals, one for short term rentals, another one for multifamily. So we got the 7 RV parks, senior housing, and the short term rentals. We have 7 databases. Those will be added to the 3.0. The 3.0 will probably not be till midsummer, but the 2.0 should be by May, and we'll have that all cleaned up. But you guys have it now. So if you need to find a lender that works in, let's say you need an Allentown, Pennsylvania, you could look in Pennsylvania and find a lender that does for buy and hold a single family property, and you can put in some parameters to pull up that if they're willing to do 10% down with and interest only, and if they're willing to take a second, or if they are willing to accept another lender for your transaction or your gap funding. So there's some pretty cool, yeah.
So I've been trying to call some of them, the ones that I actually have a phone number to, and they either don't answer or I've gotten like totally the wrong phone number.
Is that off the database as it is now?
That's the one that you sent me via messenger. You sent me like 3 lists or 4 lists.
Okay, yeah. Don't use the one that's got the new one that's basically like a pivot table, the searchable one that we've only had that since probably last week, and it should be in the group, and I'll make sure everybody has it. But that's the one that's the current one. That's the one that's actually you can use it now.
Okay, and the name, and we ask for the names that are on there, and they'll be more than happy to help us, or do we just go to anybody that?
Well, you want to it depends on what you're doing. The way we're going to be doing it, the way we suggested is that you can, and it's not a great way to do it, but you can when you pull those names and they populate, you can actually you can contact them. There's email addresses, their websites, and there is still some manual. This isn't like you can't you can export them to hunter.io. Justin's pretty good at that. He knows that program really well. They have a free version, and you can do an email campaign. That's what I would suggest is get hunter.io, the free version, and just do the email campaign and put as many in there for the types of deals you do. It takes a little bit of work, but you don't have to go and find 1,000 lenders manually. You can put in the parameters of what you're looking for and pull up 15 of them, 20 of them, 30 of them, and at least you got them. And then you can populate an email through hunter.io, which is like, you don't have to use like MailChimp or one of the, the services that cost a lot of money. You can actually just do an email campaign. You can choose to call them. There's a lot of them on there, but like I said, there's 1,300 of them by the time we have 4, 5, and 6 back to plug in. And then I think I'm taking out lender list 3 as far as the next verification goes. So once we re-verify them, then they will be all clear. I mean, at 1,300, we'll probably have 1,200 altogether. We'll probably take out about 100 that are duplicates where they're not in business anymore.
Now, will the hedge funds, some of the hedge funds and maybe family offices, will they purchase big land? So I've got 3,000 acres in Texas that I'm.
Yeah, the one you told me about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean this is a hot area. We've got Microsoft going in there. We've got Walmart's already in there. This is
Oh,
land that has been in the family since 18 something.
I'm gonna direct the VA who's actually putting it together to when he plugs it in to actually pull out to make sure we got land and real stuff for those databases. So we'll have those parameters. I mean, land is in one of the parameters just to make sure we have those. They'll be more or less in the other 7 databases we're adding. We'll be able to actually do a lot more with those because they're mostly real estate oriented. Because I mean, we got the Founders Fund, which is Peter Thiel, is actually in our hedge funds in one of our hedge fund databases, and obviously Peter Thiel doesn't do real estate, so you just got to realize we had a lot of hedge funds that came with when we got these databases, and some of the family offices will, but we'll have to have them pull out the land specifically, and I'll have the VA do it. The VA is supposed to get it back to me by the end of April. They're re-verifying it. Once we have verification done, everything. I mean, there'll probably be 1,000 between 1,000 and 1,200 that are currently funding it in business, and that we can confirm they're in business. So every 90 days, I'm going to pull 500 out and and it'll be by the list. So right now, you see letter was 1, 2, and 3. We'll have 4 and 5 back, and then I'll pull out like 2 and 3 and send it out for re-verification, just to make sure they're still in business. Because there are some that are in business, but they're not, like Civic. Everybody thought Civic was out of business. Civic is in business. They're just not lending right now. They fired their CEO and their CFO, and they're actually just restructuring. So Civic will be back in business at some point, and they've told everybody that. So I'm kind of mixed on Civic because when I first started this, I kind of butted heads with a lot of their brokers. We all kind of were going after the same customer.
Well, if you know of any, or you know anybody that might know somebody interested in
Okay.
buying this land, let me know, and we'll cut you guys in on deals.
Yeah, let me reach out to some other people because we do have some new people that are involved. Helena and I took over another group that has the 38,000 people in it. It's kind of a mess right now, but we've got some other people that we're working with that, and then Kevin and I are also discussing that with some other people. So I want to get your deal done because shit, we just got Spencer's deal done. I couldn't believe actually he found somebody after last week for his deal, which is
Which one?
really the one with it where he was going to need the 20,000 to help him finish because his partner got sick.
Okay.
His
Uh,
partner had health problems, and
uh, I didn't know that. That's sad.
yeah, so he had to pull out. So when nothing was going bad on Spencer's, it's actually a great deal. It'll make money. I mean, we talked about it in the class last week. So
I
Spencer were Yeah, so Spencer has he was able to through persistence find because that's one of those deals. Hey, if you tell me it's 20 grand, I'll give you 10,000 repayment or profit. And virtually no one ever does that deal. And he finally found somebody who would. So
right.
so I'm happy for Spencer because he's kind of like been really stressed. He thought he was gonna lose his ass and everything on it. And
Right.
we got some other deals going down. I want to do a call. I just want to do with the people that can lend money. I know Mel's on tonight. Mel's got a deal going. And I'll get an update on him. But yeah, anybody that can lend internally, we try to get everybody going so everybody can. That way we can kind of promote in house because we still got like 50 people with the 2020 group and all that. So we can find, get everybody lending at least in house to that way all the kinks are worked out and we can kind of make sure everybody's, because everybody gets to know each other in these groups.
I can
It's like,
do, yeah, I can do the lending, but it's got to be real short term until I get this land deal done. Once I get the land deal done, phew, I-
well,
I'll have several $1 million that I can just sit there and loan out.
that's what, so yeah, we'll talk about how you want to structure your short term deals. And, because I know we got like 5 or 6 people in the group right now that can do that. And if we can we can raise up all our 2020, 2023 people and some of our other people and get everybody get some deals going, then that'll help. And these are all short term. And then we can pair them up. We can broker them up with, if somebody throws them a bone or something or finances a short term deal, we can wrap it with a long, bring in like ground floor Vizio or somebody.
I've got one lender that does gap funding, 1 day gap funding, and up to 5 day gap funding.
Yeah.
So that might also help out some people to do double closing.
Yeah, that's what we need. So we need to. That's what I want to do is get together one night and just I want to get everybody that's going to be lending, and then Jesse and Kevin and I will be on, and we can kind of that way we can kind of get a restructure because I've got all the documents, the contracts, agreements, all this white label stuff to so you guys can plug it as your own. You can put your own logos and all that. So that way I can make sure whatever you guys are doing, we can match up kind of like a business in a box.
Right.
So so that way you guys are all, I mean, you don't want to be totally standardized, but at least if everybody in the group kind of knows who you are and kind of knows what systems and what your requirements are, we can get a lot of deals going. And then, Kevin's got some deals going with Gwen right now. And so she's got a few things going. I think she's working on that deal with Nancy for that grain mill. That grain mill's a good deal. 8 million. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's like doing like $8 million a year in revenue.
Nice. I also have a sand mine that I need to find funding for.
Cool. That works. That's a good opportunity. Then the things where I get frustrated are people looking for personal loans or working capital. I mean, we're trying to find for my friend Danny, who was on last week. He's trying to get a working capital thing because we're in the slow season, obviously in Colorado for real estate. He's an evergreen,
Oh,
he'll sell about 12 houses a year, or up to about 20, and his average commission is 50, so he's trying to get 20-25,000 for a couple months until the closing season starts again during the summer.
right.
So we're working on that for him, trying to find it. And then, yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. My other business partner, Paul, he's got a deal going in Evergreen for where El Rancho is, the El Rancho exit. He's got a deal he's working on that he's going to own a car wash and a urgent care facility.
A
And
car wash. That's what I want to get into doing that. We used to do that. My dad used to do that when I was a kid, and I want to buy another one.
well, he's working with this guy. So if you actually just go to my Facebook and find my Evergreen Gateway, or you can look it up, Evergreen Gateway and Jack Buchanan. Jack Buchanan's the developer from Evergreen. It's a pretty substantial project. And Paul and his other partner Justin, who I've known for a while, I've known Paul 15 years, and Justin built like 30 car washes for some of the big companies, and he knows all the connections. And just happened we met, and I introduced him to Jack, and he's like, I want to do a car wash. And so Justin's like, you got to do the Mac Daddy of car wash. It's 125 feet. There's a car wash like literally across Evergreen Parkway from there. And he said, you'll put them out of business within a year. It's all mailbox money. And then there's that old First Bank building that's really nice. I mean, it's really like, it looks like a lodge, kind of like you go to Aspen, and they're going to turn that into a really high-end urgent care facility. There's enough into this project. There's a hotel. There's going to be a Carl's Jr. and some other things that they're actually able to donate a $3.5 million fire station, so they can move the fire station over like maybe 500 feet from where it is now, so they can actually, yeah, the developer's going to donate. And if the fire department doesn't blow it, because they are suddenly like thinking it's like a wish list rather than, hey, you guys get a brand new building with offices and quarters, and you get all the hot and cold, for the firefighter safety, for separating all the bad shit that comes back from fires. And you get meeting rooms and the kitchen and all this shit. But they're like, oh, we're gonna do this and this. It's like, well, you're paying for that out of taxpayer money. You're getting the 3.5 million. Be happy there, and then whatever you guys want to add, we'll add. And and ironically, I worked for that fire department like 20 years ago for 4 years. And so I got a lot of friends that aren't, they're not there now, but they're kind of still around. And they're like, we needed a new station then. And it's like, don't blow this by trying to make it your wish list.
Right.
Because you guys have an opportunity to get a brand new station. And right now it's a big glorified shed with a double wide construction trailer for their offices. And that's for a fire department. They got paid staff, and they don't have any quarters. They have we used to sleep in the old stations on the couches and next to the trucks and get yelled at by the chiefs. Like, you guys can't sleep in the stations. It's like, dude, we're not sleeping. We just went on 3 calls.
Right.
Yeah.
Mel, Justin is not coming in tonight.
Yeah, that's what I figured. He's been it's kind of sucks that I've been trying to get this with him. And he's got so many groups that he does stuff for.
Yeah. Well, Mel just asked a question if Justin was out for the night, and I was just letting him know.
Justin's having some.
Yeah, he's doing a he's doing another master class with one of his other groups.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him. So I think what we may have just having to do is we may have to do just have to do one and with him and go through it and then get it to you guys where you guys can watch it like on YouTube or something on the private. So
Yeah,
because it's I've been trying to he's known about this. It's just he's slammed with that group that he does Space Morby. Yeah, on the lenders list. I can maybe pull it up to show it to you guys. I don't think it's gonna screen share very. Let me try to see if I can find it because I didn't post prepare it. I may actually have to just even do that, just do a tutorial and send it to everybody
yeah,
because I wasn't preparing to do the 1.0. I'm gonna do a tutorial on it because other people have asked about it. It's actually pretty simple. And then as far as see what the other questions were. Sorry, guys.
yeah. Pace is having class on the 30th,
Yeah,
35th, and
and
30th.
Justin asked me, he's just like an hour before this, like what time is the AI? And I think we tried to do the 6 o'clock, and for some reason, like half the people ended up going to a wrong link. So just keep in mind, guys, I'm gonna put one link in there, and it's gonna be perma-linked. It's gonna be pinned. So I think where we got screwed up is when we did the Wednesday night class, the
Yeah,
Wednesday night thing last week. Maybe something got screwed up in Zoom and all that. But we're gonna put it. It's always gonna be at 6 o'clock, and I'll pin. I just got to tell the other people that are moderators not to like unpin anything. I don't think they did it either, but making sure that it's always at 6 o'clock, and I'll reschedule with Justin. And if he needs a different time, like Monday nights are gonna work for him, then I'll let everybody know. We can get as many people as we can on to do it because AI is so incredible. And at the same time, so just see on your question about that, I had actually planned for Justin because we talked, and I had planned for Justin to actually go through the database, the 1.0, because he was going to incorporate that into the AI portion and show people how to use that and bounce around the 1.0, just like the AI, just like Hunter.io. So he was going to go through all that, and then we were going to do a tutorial. But it's actually pretty simple. I mean, it's actually not too hard to go and just use it and use the search terms. But I'll do a tutorial this week on it, and I'll just do it on my own and then post it for everybody to kind of watch it. But I really want Justin to go through it with the IO, the Hunter.io and the Chat GPT-3. I think he's using 4 now. 4 is a lot better than 3 because I think on 4 you can actually, it's supposed to have 100 trillion, whatever they call it. I don't know the terms, like where 3 has like 30 million, it goes to like 100 trillion parameters or whatever
Mm.
they're calling it. So that's really incredible. Like
That
you
phone
can,
on a wait list though. You can't even get into it.
yeah, it's a wait list. I mean, that's the thing that sucks. I'm using 3 right now.
Yeah.
So I'm on the wait list for 4 as well. I think if you had 3, I think you were able to get it, like get the advanced version, or I don't know. It's some weird stuff. Like I said, I tried to have I've been asking a lot of questions, and I did a lot more stuff with it this last week, playing around with it, even both real estate wise and out of it. Like today, I asked him to rewrite Wizard of Oz with Toto the band instead of Toto the dog. I thought that was funny. It actually came back. It took like 10 minutes, and it was like, wow, you know, instead of going to Emerald City, they're going to Africa.
Mm.
so
Just the Totos, yeah.
that's weird. So I tried doing what Justin did that last Zoom that he was on and kind of touched
Cool.
on,
Thanks, Mel. I'll be in touch tomorrow when you get a
but
chance. Okay. So yeah. So what did? Yeah. Did you?
it
What
didn't,
did?
it didn't work when I said exactly what he said into AI. It came back saying something about it not having that intelligence, not knowing what private lenders do this or that. But then it gave me a list of way to try and find private lenders. So it didn't shoot out any names, or how it did with him when he
Yeah.
was. It didn't do any of that for me. So I don't know. I must have done something wrong.
Well, we'll have to figure that out. Like I said, we'll get him on. Dan, what's up? Long time no see, man.
Hey, how you doing, Nate? Long time no see. Likewise.
No, critting. Thanks, man. I haven't talked to you in over probably a year.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So how's
How are
your
things?
pretty good. We're still plugging away. We're trying to get AI working. We got a master list now of we've converted all our lender list over to a searchable like pivot table database, which is really good. So we got like all of our contacts in there so people can find lenders. So
Nice.
so we got that all done. Yeah, dude. So definitely want to catch up with you. What's new with you? I know you're
Yeah. Let's definitely talk offline. I don't want to take up from other people on the call.
well, no, I mean,
Um,
if you want to introduce yourself to the group, because we've mentioned you one time. We mentioned you like Jesse's contact, Jesse's friend.
okay.
So we've mentioned
So
you. So maybe you just want to introduce yourself to the group. We got a few people on, like
sure
Bill and
thing.
Matt and Dan, and Matt has been in our group since for a while, a couple of years, and then Doris, and then
Is
Bill,
that Matt Fleck? No, that's someone else.
Matt Moreland.
Um, okay.
He comes from
So everyone,
he's with the private money authority side,
oh,
with our
nice.
with our one of our members that's still around.
Okay. Well, nice to meet everyone. My name is Dan Mansour with Atlas Group. We run creative financing by leveraging the debt into the private equity funds with being able to eliminate the debt by leveraging equity waterfall structures with high returns to make it less painful for the borrower to focus on repaying the debt, where we'll take care of that while they could focus on their passion, their project to utilize the money that was borrowed for that effect.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And then you had another project. I don't know if you want to talk about what you bought.
Oh, okay. I guess the cat's out of the bag.
We did a
If you
little
can,
bit. I mean, this is kind of a closed group, but if you're comfortable talking about it at some point, because we've mentioned it just like again, like Jesse's friend, and we have another associate who's actually working on trying to do an offshore one off of Vanuatu, like off
okay,
of Australia. So Kevin's working on that with her. So I don't know if you want to talk to people about that because it's kind of fascinating.
sure. If you could just give me the subject. I mean, we do so many different projects, me,
Oh, isn't that
Jesse, and
wasn't that you bought a bank?
oh no, we're actually that's one of our principal targets for this year.
Oh, okay.
So we're working on the other pieces where we're becoming direct to a private desk. So we do the managed by cells and we do extremely high returns, and that's how the equity side would facilitate the private funding ability for projects. The other thing we're doing is we're purchasing a 204 unit apartment building in Texas that we're able to do utilizing this strategy. So we figured, hey, why not? Why don't we buy an asset using our system to prove to other people that this is possible in any type of structure. So one of the hardest ones we've seen is acquisition. So we come in as a joint venture strategic alliance with the seller, pay them and for their participation a premium above their ask price. So it's a win-win situation all around.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
thing. And then that's also because we got some unique programs. We have another guy, Cameron Barry, who's not on tonight, but Cameron was like just out of college in 2020 when he joined up with us. And he's doing deals now with investors where 50 rental properties in the Midwest with a 660 FICO score or higher. And they get the acquisition loan, they get the down payment assistance, and they actually will do cash at close back to and 50 rental properties, which is a great way to start getting income, cash flow, and assets to have
That is
50
fantastic.
yeah, and the
Absolutely.
kids, I don't think he's Jesse, what do you think? Cameron's like 26, 27 now? Maybe not even that old. He's just out of college in 2020 when he started working with us. So he was in our 2020 class we did just like this one. And the kids already putting those kind of deals together.
So
So
if we could talk to him, that'd be awesome. I'd love to give him some business and put up his front end capital and we'll pay him for that. That'd be great if you can connect us all together.
yeah, let's do that. I think I still got your information and we'll in my email and then I'll hook with Jesse and Kevin and we'll get Cameron on with you
Awesome.
because that would be awesome. And Cameron's got proof of concept.
Oh, well, that's even better. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
Cameron's about as solid as you can come, and for his side, and he's out there talking to people, and people are, of course, like, "Oh, this is too good to be true." Only he has
Right.
proof of concepts. He's doing it. 50 properties, so somebody can go in as long as it's his investors like the Midwest, so they have to be in. I think Indianapolis and a bunch of places like around there are probably pretty solid. Minnesota places
Okay.
around there. So with 50 properties, you can really start building your portfolio. I know we've had a few people in our program now have talked to him. A couple that are actually working with him on a couple of things. So we've got 14 people in the current program, and then we have 13 from 2020 plus about 20 of our PMA people still. So we have about 50 altogether.
Way to go, guys. Way to go. That's awesome. What else are we talking about tonight? Maybe I could help contribute.
We were our AI guy was supposed to come on and do a demonstration of Chat GPT, and he was going to be using Privy and PropStream and PropWire with like a
Okay.
program with Hunter.io, which is a great program. And he was going to show, and he did this a couple weeks ago, and he showed how to. He was basically finding a property with PropWire, which has their free version, or Privy,
Right.
and he was actually showing how to find the property, use Hunter.io to send emails with ChatGPT writing, using that to write your responses and putting in the Hunter.io, and then being able to find the seller or the seller's agent if it's on market, and actually be able to make do comps and make an offer. And we're trying to plug
Wow.
in our lenders where you could finish by literally almost probably not have it funded, but at least have the process started in the same session. So he and I did a call, just the two of us, and we did a Zoom. Unfortunately, YouTube deleted it because we ended up having some people's actual phone numbers and stuff on there, which was sucked because we had like 2,000 views in like 3 days on my YouTube
Wow.
channel. But he was able to actually do all three programs, Privy, PropWire, and PropStream, and he was able to put in three different offers. Like one was a multifamily, another one was a fix and flip on market. He was able to contact a seller's agent. It was 119 days into the listing. So he was able to put an offer in. And he's one of those gators. I don't know if you've heard that new gator program. Case
Yeah.
Morby does it. Yeah, he's a gator, so he has access to capital. So we've got about 7 or 8 people in our current program that actually can lend capital short term. Bill is on, he can do that. We got a couple other guys that can do short term or gap or transaction. So I think if we're able to work with you and work with all of our in-house people and some of the other lenders and stuff we have, we could put a pretty powerful arsenal, to literally help all the people in our group kind of just dominate. And
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think we really should get married. I mean, you guys got the front side. I'll cover the back side with the equity to get rid of the front side. Man, it'd be a slam dunk.
yeah. So does anybody on here have any questions for Dan while he's on? Doris or Bill or Matt?
Dan, what area are you focusing in? Are you in the Midwest as well, or are you all over?
Global.
Oh, excuse me. Global.
Yeah.
Okay. No, come on the East Coast. I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay. I'm located in Central Jersey, so
Oh,
we're not too far from each other.
we neighbor practically.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Can you-
because
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna ask you like I'm in Central Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Near Lancaster. I'm in Harrisburg, but Lancaster currently they have a lot of, let's just say, people who was not able to collect their rent, and they all got these freaking balloons coming up. I had wanted to take over their mortgage, but they have the freaking balloon coming up in 18 months, and I can't hang with that. And do you know somebody who can hang with that kind of situation?
Yeah. Well, let's talk more about it, and we can make the arrangements. I mean, I've got colleagues in the note buying business.
Uh-huh.
They'll buy the first or the second. So, being that it's coming up on a balloon, what's the value? Well, what's the benefit of buying it at a balloon?
Well,
Um,
apparently, from what I could gather from 3 that I was talking with, they had initially got it at a steal, really, and they, of course, they did add value add to it, and then COVID hit, and they ran into problem with COVID because when the morning was passed, that they didn't have to pay the rent, they didn't pay the rent. So they was getting slaughtered because they wasn't making their payments. So now that that been removed, they are throwing people out left and right and bringing people in to try to play catch up.
Mhm.
But a few of them said like, hey, if you just give me 20 grand and take over the mortgage, I'll walk away from it. I'm like, when's your balloon due? They said about 18
Mm.
months. I can't handle it because like 5 mil. I can't handle a balloon with 5 mil on it. At least I don't think I can at this stage of my budding career. So I sit here saying like I'm running into that kind of problem in Jersey. I mean not Jersey, I mean in Lancaster, but a little bit away from Harrisburg, there is about 500 acre of land that is the minimum house is 350K, but they have some houses that you put like 1 mil plus over. And
Okay.
I had a potential buyer, but the seller decided that he's going to tell this buyer what he's going to do with the land. So the buyer backed out.
Oh.
Yeah, because he apparently gonna stay. I can't reveal his name because you probably know who he is. But at
We'll
any
keep
rate,
it anonymous then.
yes. So he told his agent that whoever buy his land, they have to do what he said with it. I'm like, it's not a lease. It's they're gonna do what they want because there was a group that wanted to put in a rehab facility in there, and he said no to it. And they offered him 1.5 times what he was asking for it, and he said no because I have to live there. But
I'm the
apparently,
buyer. I'm the buyer. Let's set it up. I'm buying it then. If they wanted to do it the way they want, as long as I'm the buyer and I can leverage it, we'll make a ton of money off of it following the seller's instructions.
okay, because what he had done in the past, I'll give you this clue so you can say if this really something you want to do. He had broke off pieces of it into lots, and he was selling the lot for 150K, and that didn't include the house. That's just for the lot, and that didn't include water leads attached to it. That was just for the land. But he at one point it was a B&B, a wedding reception, but there's a golf course on it,
Okay. So
and
could we land bank finance it with the seller's resources and following the seller's instructions as to what he wants?
well, the seller, okay, let me put it this way: the state of Pennsylvania have gone after him for the land, to how much they wanted,
Oh,
but he turned them down because they wanted to pay him pennies on the dollar. He he wants to be able to live there and still be, how should I put this, king of the hill sort of mentality. Does that make sense to you?
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. He want to be a king of the hill situation. And once I told the buyers I had lined up for, because they were going to take all 3 lots, because you got like 3 different areas. One, you can put 1 million plus homes on it. Other ones, you can just break off the lots and build individual home, because the lowest house is 350K. It's
Mhm.
it's kind of exclusive area. If nothing else, you hold on to the land and wait and let this recession go over. They're eventually going to buy it, and of course, it's going to be even higher a bit with the cost of things. So I'm looking at it like maybe he'll probably sell all 3 lots for maybe 6-7 mil. That's not
Okay.
including, that's not including a final fee, but he probably would do that quickly. But you're gonna have to do your perk and pro. There is one lot do have a 2 football field side flood zone that you can make as a recreation area. Just you can't build on it. But I said anything is possible, but it was a perfect spot, and the buyer was all gun ho until he decided that he's gonna tell you what you can do. He turned down a sober facility from going
That's
in.
fine. Tell me what you want me to do with it. As long as I could leverage it, I'll make a shit ton of money with you doing it.
I
You,
tell
you
you
want
what.
me to turn it into a landfill? Let's do it.
Yeah, well, yeah, Doris, we'll
I
put,
tell you what, Dan. Uh, um, Nate, give him my info, and
yeah, we'll connect.
I'll send you the what I have, and you can sit here and tell me if it's something you want to do, and then I will. If it's something you want to do, I will reestablish my contact with the listing agent and see if she still wants to do anything with it, and what will he take as a lump sum for all 3 lots?
I'll
Okay.
do that tomorrow, and so what I'll do tomorrow, Doris, is I'll put you guys on an email together just to connect you guys, and then you guys
Good.
can exchange information.
Okay, does that
And,
sound like a plan, Dan?
Yeah, I like your name, by the way. Do more. So Doris, yeah, we'll do more.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I think so. Dan, I think Bill's got one too. He's got a pretty cool project.
Okay.
So he's yeah. Bill, go ahead and ask. Talk to him about that project you have.
Okay, I've got a couple of them, but there's I got 3,000 acres out in Texas that I am trying to find buyers for. It's in a great area. We've got Microsoft coming in over there, Walmart's in over there. The property's been owned in the family since 1876 or something like that. So there's no crap on the land at all. And then I also have a sand mine that we're looking for funding on.
Okay. So okay. And what's the value of it?
Of the 3,000 acres,
Yeah.
I believe they are looking at about 35,000 to 40,000 per acre.
For 35 to 40,000 per acre. And could you remind me again how many acres?
3,000 acres.
Wow. All right.
And
So
if this land got purchased, you would have all control over roads and everything that go in there.
okay. And are you one with the seller?
I am direct with the realtor who is like direct with the sellers because he grew up with these people.
Oh, wow. Any warmer, you'd be in bed with them. Literally.
I know. Exactly.
Times
Leave
30.
that alone.
Okay. Oh, next.
This is the part of the
Whoops.
Zoom where I start thinking about maybe I should take the recording off.
Again,
All right.
Chris,
So if we were to take the whole thing, how much is the ask price?
Boy. Well, there's two separate parts here. So there's 381 acres that is separate from 2,000 some odd acres. So there's two different families that are involved.
Okay.
Let me see what my numbers are here. I've had them because I've been trying to figure it out this for a while, and we thought we had a buyer, but the guy that we were working with, he was a flake, so he didn't work out. You'd be looking at roughly around the 120 million for all.
Okay. 120 million?
Yeah.
All right. Could we start with, let's say, 5 million or 10 million and then buy the rest in 6 months?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the realtor is more than happy to work with me on all of this
Okay.
stuff.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
All right.
we can set
So
all this up. We
let's
can set
talk
it-
more about that as well. You mentioned you had other projects you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, there's a sand mine. That one's quite complex. I don't have the file in front of me, but it is quite impressive and it's producing money right now.
So a sand mine, their production is sand. Pardon my ignorance.
It's for oil. They use the sand to,
for fracking.
yeah, for fracking.
Oh, okay. I thought I knew something about mining, but I learned something today. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
This is in the oil field itself.
Okay. If it's okay with you, I'd like to learn more about it. I'm not too familiar with it.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with money, so that I could do.
Okay. Well, I would love to get with you more. I need your phone number and contact information. I've got a business partner who actually knows a lot more about the sand mine than I do. And
Okay.
then she's just kind of filling me in here and there on the sand mine, because I'm like you, I didn't even, when she said sand mine, I'm thinking playground sand. Why would anybody want playground sand? But it's not that. So,
Okay.
and then, so I'm with
Okay.
you.
There's probably 20,000 bags of that at the local Home Depot.
Exactly.
I have a friend that does that. He's in he's over like they actually have on there. Hey, need to make the aisle dust free. It's like, dude, the whole freaking aisle is dust. So yeah, we'll make the connections for you and Doris, Bill, and then Matt. Do you have anything tonight, or what's going on with you?
I was going, no current deals or projects, but I was just wondering, if I bring any deals to you, then, what are your requirements to usually want me to be on the contract for, like wholesaling or anything, or
Okay,
if,
great question. And I think the requirements are going to start looking like if you have a pulse, you're approved. Okay. Um, once I team up with Cameron and discuss his front end, working with my back end, pretty much anyone who has got a good deal that they have a passion about, that's pretty much my only requirement. You want it, you love it, you want to do it. Me, Cameron, and Nate will structure everything where the money's all put out. And then we all make money together. You do your project, you make money from your project. We make money doing the equity and the debt financing structures. And you will have a convertible non-recourse loan that you could focus on your project. And after, let's say, a year, when the project is profitable, if it needs time to develop, then we can structure your repayment ability that's comfortable and flexible for you to enjoy doing your profit.
and this
Guys,
is for small family or, apartments or commercial?
Right now we're mostly focused in commercial. It's a much easier sandbox to play in with the structures that we're doing, but we are bringing it to residential. So we're going to have a private fund just for amounts below 100, below $1 million to facilitate any kind of residential real estate deals that you're looking to do.
And when you say do you also do transactional lending or, lend to wholesalers trying to do double closing, or is it strictly for people that's going to work on that project?
We are setting up our alliances with the Gator or transactional funder. We have one that has a window not of 1 to 3 days, a window of 1 to 3 months. That gives us plenty of time to sandwich the money between the hard money lender and the equity to take care of all the costs involved. Okay. There's another beautiful thing that's going to happen with all this. Um, what I mentioned before, the debt is not going to be something you have to worry about. All of the costs are going to be covered, even the commissions for the realtors, the brokers, the lenders, all of it's going to be covered from equity. I'm trying to think, there was another thing that I wanted to mention. Um, Pretty much the whole entire stack from start to finish is going to be covered. So all you have to worry about is, I like this project. Okay. Let's get to know each other a little bit better. So a basic 1-page application, share your business plan or your mission statement, or even use an AI to write a paragraph about what you're looking to do with the property. And that's it. We're good to go. We'll get it all done.
Is there any, state requirements or, state exemptions? Because I live in California.
No, no. I mean, between you and me, I'm modeling it like the FHA program, without penalizing the borrower if default takes place, as long as communication and best efforts take place. Um, not to how do I say this? I don't want you to default. So I'm going to look out for your best interest, obviously, because my interests are going to be protected as well, because the capital outlay that I'm putting out is out of my pocket or out of my financial backer's pocket, right? But I also have insurance on it. So if you fail, I'm not coming after you. There is no fiduciary responsibility. But don't weigh on that. I want you to succeed. I want you to focus on that part. Um, so pretty much all of the structures that are found inside banking, lending, the capital protection that they arrange with triple insuring the loans, is something we're going to utilize without hurting the borrower if non-performance happens. Okay, so we've got a lot of exciting things that we're developing. We've got a couple of things with private lending that we're doing. So one of the missing pieces that Jesse had been working with me on, was setting up the front end with the gator, with the transactional funder, with the hard money lender. That's what I wanted to bring up. With the hard money lender in residential, they'll lend 65% of ARV. Okay. You still would have to come up with a difference or find a gap lender. Then you still have to look at your return rate. How much is it you're going to profit after all debt expenses, paying back the hard money lender, paying back the housing insurance, paying back the taxes on the property? How about buying it without any of those parameters? Buying a distressed property and banking on the appreciation over having it as a buy and hold, where you come to the table with nothing, 100% finance. So a lot of the requirements that you're asking about, a lot of them that you're familiar with these hard money lenders, we are going to alleviate that and make sure we look at it together with you to do the 100%, but also maintain and make sure that it's a profitable model. All right. How does that sound?
And I think, guys, Matt, Bill, and Doris, I think one of the best things is we'll basically work with Jesse because he's kind of Dan's contact, even though I have his contact information. So I think that's going to be easier for you, Dan, is to have Jesse be the point of contact for our people because he knows all of them.
Actually, that would be ideal because he's a team
Yeah,
member with me, and me and him bounce back and forth all day long. So
yeah,
he'll
just like a
handle
leader.
the
Yeah, yeah, that's what I said. And he does with me. So I think, guys, we'll set it up, and we'll set up because we got like 50 people all together and all in groups. So I think that's what we'll do is we'll set up Jesse as the point of contact with you.
Okay.
That's gonna be the best thing. So you guys want to definitely get with Jesse on your potential deals.
And Nate, I wanted to apologize for coming in so late. I was in another meeting and Jesse invited me.
No,
And as soon as
no.
I got done, I jumped in and I wasn't prepared. I didn't know what tonight's meeting was about, but I just wanted to.
Yeah, we were actually. I'm really happy you did because shit, man, I haven't talked to you in a year. We talk about you all the time, Kevin and Justin. I mentioned that our calls, our call with JP Morgan last year. So I'm really happy because our AI guy was supposed to come on and do a demonstration of the AI and incorporate our lender list and some other features. And he got caught in another master class that he's
Oh,
in
okay.
he's in the Gator program and he's like one of the big guys in Gator. So you
Nice.
come in and basically just gave us a whole other topic. We had a confusion with we were supposed to start at 6 o'clock our time and like Kevin and a bunch of other people got stuck in a different waiting room. So we had
No
to
problem.
so this worked out great, dude. This is awesome. And so what I do with these, I'll process on YouTube, but I post it for a private playlist. So it just goes out to the people in our program. It's not on the public playlist. And I'll put it
Oh,
out to
okay.
everybody in the morning. And then I'll let everybody watch it. And then I'll have them like, if they got something, then obviously Jesse's going to get very busy, but I'll help him and Kevin will help him. And Kevin's got a good contact now. His contact, Gwen, who used to be, she was a senior officer at the Federal Reserve branch in Kansas City. She's retired from there. And so she's in.
Oh, she's a wonderful lady. If it's the
You know
same
Gwen?
Gwen, I was talking to
Yeah.
her earlier this afternoon, about 3-4 hours ago. So yeah, she's beautiful. She's
Yeah,
amazing.
she's does a lot of deals with Kevin, and Kevin's got a deal right now with a lady and her husband who just got out of the army in Fort Riley, Kansas, and they're in the process of acquiring a grain elevator business in Missouri
Oh,
that
okay.
it does about $8 million a year revenue. and
Wow.
and they're requiring that. So I will, Jesse, like I said, you'll be the point of contact. So we'll kind of put something together so that way it makes it where we can get people's deals to you to funnel to Dan.
Wonderful.
So that's awesome, dude. I appreciate it, man. This kind of just gave me, because before you came on, I was like, this is gonna be one of those where we're gonna be off for like, because
This will be one of those nights where we twiddle our thumbs a little bit.
well, we've been, because we've been going for 3 months, and we're gonna be doing 40 Mondays a year now, and we started the paperwork, and we show monotonous. We go to Regulation D. We talk about the SEC stuff, all that stuff. So people have a good, they gotta learn how to do the paperwork, and yeah. So we do a
Okay.
lot of, yeah, we do a lot of stuff. I have over 115 videos on my YouTube now
Mm.
since the last time we talked, and we talked to everybody about all kinds of different things, how to set up their entities.
Okay.
We have the lender list of over 1,300 lenders. Which is
Okay.
great, and we put that in a pivot table so now people can search.
Nice.
So that's helping a lot.
And when you guys do the one on the AI and ChatGPT, please invite me. I'd love to be on that. I love ChatGPT. I use it for my documents, and it really is amazing how much it's a help.
I'm gonna try to reschedule with Justin Birch and then have him kind of be the lead on that and show. Yeah, definitely make sure, Jesse, when we do that, if he just got caught in it, we may have to do something where we just get 5 or 6 of us and just do it and not do it for a whole, like we were trying to do as an event. But I think we just may have to get 5 or 6 of us together and just do an hour or 2 hours, and just that way we can cover. You could throw it what you're doing and what you want to see out of it, and Justin can probably do it. So
Okay.
so that's probably the best thing for me to do, try to reschedule it in that way. Justin's really good at using Hunter.io. He chat GPT-3. He's using, I think he's getting 4. He's really good at using Privy, PropWire, PropStream to find on-off market properties. Most of his stuff is, and he's a gator. Most of his stuff is single family, but he does a lot of other stuff. So we've got a pretty good group. I think we got a really good cross section.
Now I gotta ask. I've been in finance for, oh God, 15, 20 years, and this gator terminology is new to me. Is that new in the industry? For what I come to understand it as a transactional funder?
It's hard to explain it, but it's a guy named Pace Morby who's like the guru who created it, and he charges, I think it's like just under $9,000 to join, and then it's like there's another version on top of that. It's like 11 or 12,000. So it's a guru driven kind of a marketing. It's just terminology that he created, and he has a pretty good following, and he has a lot of people, and it seems to be transactional. It's I've heard good things about it. I tell people if they want to do some of the same stuff. I mean, like I literally have 600 white label editable documents for people, and we have like contracts. We have everything we can provide them for our. We have multiple strategies. I mean, we give them almost a business in a box if they want to.
Wow.
So that's what we're trying to do. Right now we're charging $397. We're going to $3,500 for our program, our Masterclass.
Nice.
Because of like people keep telling us we need to charge more. And a lot of the connections, it's like having a connection with you, having a connection with Gwen, having a connection with some of the other people with Cameron. And Cameron's known in our group because he's been in our group like Matt. Cameron was our 2020 class. We had a gentleman out of our 2020 class, Robert Newburn, who during the pandemic built a $100 million multifamily portfolio. And he started with nothing in September 2020. And now he has over $100 million in multifamily.
That's amazing. He definitely took advantage of the shutdown.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So we've got that kind of. So I tell people we're not like mentors or gurus or coaches, but we're like a resource library, kind of like a curator for a museum. We just have everything. It's white label with it's all lawyered up, so they can just get whatever they need, and they get the whole package. So you don't have to go and say I'm going to be a flipper, but now I'm in multifamily. So now you don't have to go find another guru and pay them $3,000 to go get their stuff. We basically be providing everything that people need.
So you basically have a mastermind group without a coach or a guru. It's a democracy run. So that's phenomenal. Way to go, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of transitioned to that, and because we're still we're still working on that fund we were talking about before, but it's just a lot of stuff with it's trying to regroup it, and we're going to work with Del Morgan. I think we talked about that last time we talked. We were talking about Del Morgan. We're still in contact with them. They need $150,000 is their engagement fee, and
Okay.
so we're going to be working with, if we can find a way to raise money. You know, Kevin still wants to do with Osmium and stuff and some physical assets. Everything we're doing physical assets. I mean, we talked about doing an NFT, and there's a guy right now trying to do an NFT in real estate space, but it's like 9.97 for the coin or whatever it's called. And then it's we were going I was going another step further and going, what if you backed it with the real estate, and where NFT and crypto is staked, you have
Mm,
returns from the real estate and the physical assets being, moved and sold, and the returns from there go into the returns. And it's like it was kind of surprising to me going on Fiverr, because I use Fiverr for a lot of things, like to build my
mhm.
pivot table. And I found there's a guy on there. I'll build your blockchain for like $200. I'm like, they're really kind of scary with all the crypto stuff going on right now, that somebody could actually build your blockchain for $200.
Okay. Wow.
So I'm not really sure I want to go that way, but I was thinking about, there's one that's like you could do 15 million coin or whatever crypto, and if you charge like 9.97 or whatever, and you get $1.5 billion. And I said all of a sudden we could go do that, put that all into real estate and these other physical assets, and then we could, returns or whatever we could pay, that could be where crypto's getting staked and getting the returns out of nothing, out of thin air, where we
Mm,
actually have real estate backing it, and we have the titles and we have the transactions and all the returns. And you do a 20% profit and 2.5% like a hedge fund going to us as
mm,
the management, and putting that
right.
80% right back into the company and right back into buying more assets and then paying the returns to people.
Okay.
So that's something I've thought about recently. And it's kind of like, you can get started doing that fund like we were talking about before, going to this level where we could actually get people excited who want to do real estate but don't want to. Now, obviously, there's some SEC stuff and all that you'd have to figure out.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. I'm a mastermind student with Brigerton.
Yeah.
I set up the fund without FCC because hedge fund is a lot of red tape.
Oh, yeah.
So I did. I have a colleague that did a real estate fund, another colleague that did a debt fund, and mine is just agnostic with a private fund structure. I just do 1-to-1. That's it. No
Yeah.
other shareholders, no LPs, no GPs, no licensing, FCCs, none of that stuff, and it's totally legitimate. I have a lawyer that I worked on with. So Nate, let's talk more about that so we can make sure that your fund is done without all the costs involved with
Yep.
regulations and general partners. So we'll talk
Yeah,
more about that too.
because we were going to do Reg D 506C, and that's what the one we were working on. And when we have the PPM and all that stuff, it was all done in 2020, and that's
Okay,
what
okay.
it all got wrecked by the pandemic. And
Right.
so we want to go a different direction, kind of still get it done, but maybe this kind of other way would be kind of doing it. But I want to stay out of the crypto space. I don't like, I don't want to do anything that's out there that's like that, because it's like so much. I'm just about every major cryptocurrency is going down right now in flames.
Yeah, I agree with you. One of the ones that I'm involved in, it used to bring in 4% a week. It's still bringing in, it's bringing in 2%, but okay, I'm fine. I have one that is thriving actually at about a ROI of 72%. So cryptocurrency is very, hit or miss, but with trusted colleagues, I make sure that it's always a hit, minimal hit misses. So the misses are my worst case. Okay, so on 5 grand I invested, I'm making 2%. What is that? $100 a week? Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
it's still not a loss, but still, you know.
Well, that's good, and that's what I thought because our original fund was supposed to provide earmarks. And that's what we were told by the lawyers. Don't call it credit lines. And everybody that was a member of PMA was
Hmm.
supposed to get $3 million earmark, and that was money. It wasn't guaranteed. They still had to, the properties had to check out. They had to underwrite and everything. But that's kind of what the direction of it was going to go. And then Kevin and I and Jesse, we wanted to go into that. I think we were talking about that mine last year. I think it's still available, but we want to do like the Austrian and more physical assets, like man, strategic metals and critical minerals right now. It's just
Mhm.
off the chart. Like gallium, you
Yeah.
can't gallium, they cannot keep up with just what they need in Austria alone, let alone the globe. It had 240% increase in value over the last 4 years. Terbium had a 346%, neodymium, dysprosium. I mean, all these strategic metals and critical minerals, and the Defense Department needs them. The defense
Was it gallium? What was
Yeah.
the metal that can reshape through, I think, magnetic or,
Yeah, it may be dysprosium or neodymium because they're magnetic,
oh, wow. It's
and they're
amazing.
346% increase in value over the last 4
It's
years.
amazing.
And the so there's a company called Tradium in Germany, kind of like the Austrian Institute. We were talking about Austrian, but Tradium basically will buy them from the mining companies, and they'll store them and they have a company called Metlock, and it's Metlock is their complexes are these old Nazi Germany World War II bunker complexes that are now like industrial warehouse ISO 9001 and all that, and they store them there. And basically, Tradium will buy it for you. You can, and you get a price. You buy it. They call it a bucket. You can get a multi-bucket of different. You can buy it for if you just want to invest in the 3 or 4 that go into energy, or you can get the ones that go. Lockheed Martin buys 700 pounds of strategic metals for every F-35 fighter that just goes in and make their heads-up displays and some of their targeting system. Because now, the F-35 fighter, it's in their goggles, in their visor, and in their cockpit. It's in their canopy. It's no longer the gauges. It's kind of like, have you ever seen Dragon, SpaceX Dragon versus like the space shuttle or versus the Apollo, and just how clean their instrument panel is?
Mhm.
So they are phenomenal with that. So Lockheed Martin buys 700 pounds of those materials. There's actually, and they store them. And Tradium will not buy. They will not do a transaction unless they've got a contract to sell them to like Lockheed or some other things. And there's 17 of these metals. There's a bunch of other minerals, and it's really phenomenal. And obviously, lithium in the battery stuff is huge, but it's an incredible market. And the Department of Defense and Department of Energy have strategic plans. They had White House executive orders signed by both Trump and Biden because they're so desperate for them that it's just an incredible opportunity for people. Because that's all Kevin and Jesse and I want to do is physical assets, real estate, metals, minerals, things, in-ground assets. It's like if you can put, if you can put it in your pocket, have a title to it, put it on your bookshelf, put it in your bank account, in your safe deposit box, not your account, but you're safe, or you can store it in a vault or or Metlock. That's what we want to trade in. We don't want to trade in like fiction or stock, or people giving money to Bernie Madoff.
Right.
We want to have real assets, and that's where our whole thing's been. The last 4 or 5 years, it's all I've been focusing on, getting people into physical assets. They'll always have a value. You don't have to worry about your pension just went away because you just gave money to the next Bernie Madoff, or you gave it to a cryptocurrency guy, and you don't even know how. I mean, it's like I think I bought $100 with Bitcoin like 10 years ago, and I got the keys or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know what that shit's worth now.
Right.
I don't know how they figure that crap out. I'm like reading all the numbers and stuff, and it's like, now the SEC and all that's catching up to them.
Right.
They're hiring the same people out of MIT
Something else.
because it's not some guy in the FBI figuring this shit out. They probably got a consultant.
Of course.
They probably busted somebody and turned them into a CI. But yeah, that's what we want to do. So yeah, so I'll have Jesse be the conduit for our members' deals and get them to you, and then we'll get that out, and then yeah, definitely we need to have a call about this other thing with you, me, and Jesse and Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin's situation too. I don't know if you know his background because I don't think you were dealing with him last year with this. So Kevin's family is the Stevensons. You can look them up in Denver. Stevenson Chevrolet, Toyota, Lexus, Jaguar. They had Denver West Office Park, Carter Mills Mall, Denver West Village, Denver West Commons. They've liquidated it over the last 8 years for about $2 billion. His
Oh,
uncle,
okay.
his uncle was his uncle had like 11 car dealerships, and like I said, they're the name brands, and it's all right there in Golden, Colorado. As you drive up, you make the final push to before you start going up the hill to the mountains on I-70. It's right there, and So they've got money, so they're talking about doing a family office, family business right now. And
Oh,
they're gonna have
nice.
they're gonna have about 2 billion altogether. All of his cousins and stuff are like in their 70s and late 60s, and they're ready to retire, and their kids and their grandkids really don't want to do anything with the with the car business, and they've sold all the dealerships. The best part is the dealerships, the mall, the shopping centers, they still have the ground leases. So
All right.
so
Mm.
cool. So a lot of shit
So
going on, man.
it was great to catch up with you guys, and pleasure to meet Doris, Matt, and
Bill was just like,
Bill was the other one. Yeah, thank you. I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you, further discuss what we could do together. So again, guys, thank you so much, but I gotta run, all right?
hey, no problem. I
Have a
appreciate your
good
time,
one.
buddy. Yeah, and so we'll have everything flow through Jesse to you.
Thank you. All right.
All right, man. Dan was great catching up with you, buddy. Talk to you later.
You too. All right, talk to you soon. Oh, if you can, let's see if we could talk tomorrow, all right?
Yeah, let me see what Kevin's doing.
Okay,
And
you
then,
got it. Thanks a
and
lot,
then see if
guys.
Kevin and Jesse and I can get on the phone with you.
Okay, wonderful.
Cool, dude. All right, man. Talk to
All
you
right,
later.
you
Hey,
too.
guys.
Bye-bye now.
Cool. So, guys, that's a good resource because Dan's really put a lot of stuff together.
Sound like it.
Yeah. So, guys, just get your stuff like organized. What you're going to present to them, kind of like, Doris, if you can get your, get into writing or whatever, so you can make it whatever he said, and then flow it through Jesse, and Jesse can get it to him.
So basically, do you want me to try to get it on the contract?
Well, at least if you can get the information to put it in our contract.
Well,
Don't
the
get in our
information-
contract. Yeah, don't get in our contract until we kind of give you the go ahead, because we don't want
Uh,
you to get in stuck where all of a sudden you have it in a contract and you have liability.
No, because I see him saying like I can contact the agent tomorrow.
Yeah, well, if you can do that too and find out what you needed to get it under contract, then yeah, get it
Mhm.
through Jesse and we can try to get it closed for you.
And then see like, and then that's the Kevin and I were talking about this one in Colonial Park Mall.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find the group that owned the mall because they you're not gonna believe this. They owe like, let's just say 300K in local taxes, and they haven't paid them, and they keep giving excuses. So the lawyer for the township is going to put it on the auction. And I've been working for the past 10 days trying to figure out who actually owns the property, because it's a group of them. And because I see him saying the best way to resolve that issue is to take it from them, pay off the debt, and then you can decide whether or not you want to keep it as a shopping center or do you want to make it to an apartment complex. Am I making sense to you?
Oh yeah, dude, I think that's a great deal.
So that's why I've been spending like every waking moment trying to figure out who owned this, because I went through corporations.com. It's not listed. So they either have a holding company, and I don't know how to break a holding company that owns it. Because across the street from the shopping center is I think it's a 300 door apartment complex, and they got a mixed pod.
Ship me the information on what you found for the holding company, and any
I
of
can't
the.
find, my problem is I can't find who owns
Well, just
it.
send me some of the address, at least of the addresses that you're talking
Okay.
about, the property addresses, and then let me work on them tomorrow into Wednesday, and let me
Okay.
see, and then get your stuff together for Jesse for
The other
for
group,
yeah
the other part. Yeah.
yeah, and then we
Yeah,
can get
because
Dan, because Dan
they're
will get it done. We got Dan, we got Glenn.
there are
Yeah.
about three different properties that I think Dan may like, because let me put it this way. It used to be a non-retirement center, Sister Jane Doe.
Yeah.
And basically what happened was the Catholic charity decided they didn't want to do it anymore. So
Oh,
the complex been empty for 15 years. You're gonna need a lot of work. But it was a Texas company that bought it, and they bought it for a tax loss, because I had a group that wanted to buy it, and they said, no, we bought this for a tax loss. They actually told me they wanted to buy it as a tax loss. They're not gonna do anything with it, but they're gonna use it as a tax loss. And I didn't quite understand why they would do that. But nonetheless, the agent that has it, and I already told him he asked him for too much money. He want 5 mil for it. Said you'll do good to get 2, maybe 2.5, because it's been vacant for over 10 years, and you gotta be bring it up to code. And for lack of a better name for him, he decided that he want 5 mil. And I said it's gonna sit there until Kingdom come, because no one gonna pay you 5 mil when they gotta throw 5 mil into it to make it right. And it's about what? Sitting on about 15 acres. And the building is there, but even to just rehab the building gonna cost you a pretty penny. I mean, a pretty penny. But I told him that if he decided to come down his price, I might could get him a buyer. But he just won't come down on his price. But what I will do is I'll reach out to him tomorrow as well and see if I can reestablish a relationship with this person and see if he's willing to come down on price. Because even though it's a good location, because there's a hotel in front of it, it can easily be a family nurse facility. It could be you call those folk that downsize? Empty nesters. They just want to have a smaller place. It can be a senior facility. It has a lot of potential, but the gentleman does not want to come down on price. So that's why I see here saying I didn't want to bring that up, but the one that beside this land is the Colonial Park Mall. And I see him saying that I just can't find who the owners are. I had went through everything that I know how to find it, but I will send you the physical address of the Colonial Park Mall to you, and let's see what you can do with it, because I can't find the names of the owners.
Yeah, I was
But
just trying to research.
I do know that right now they owe the Lower Paxton Township $300K because they haven't paid their local taxes.
You can't find that information to them because maybe
Uh-uh.
they have
Well,
money.
see,
Like, hey, we can. It's just a thought. I
the
don't know.
lawyer don't want to give the information out because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. This and I've seen this happen before. They're gonna start a feeding frenzy because
Yeah,
the
other
tax.
people are going to be lining up to try to buy it from you. Out from under
Mhm.
you. All right.
And they say that they want to. You can either make it a park or whatever. I'm like, I'm not making it a park. I'll make it either maintain it as a shopping center, or I'm convert it into a apartment complex with amenities, because there's one right across the street from it, and there's a local bank in between the two areas. And I see that I want to do a 300 door multi-unit as opposed to having it been a park.
All right. Yeah. So get that information to me and Jesse tomorrow. I'll work on trying to find the owners or who to
Okay.
contact, and Jesse can work on connecting with Dan.
Okay. Yeah, because I said like I sometimes fall into, how should I say, fall into things that no most people won't take, but there's a lot of potential involved in it. You know,
Well,
just
yeah, I
like
mean,
I was saying
think about
about.
this. Spencer's deal
Mhm.
got funded. It's like that was one of the hardest deals ever to fund. He found his $20,000.
I know, because I thought he had to go to 40 in order to get 20. I
Yeah, I
really
don't know. I don't know the exact details. He texted Kevin and told him he got it put together. So I don't
great.
know. So just get all your
Um,
stuff for me and then for Jesse tomorrow, and we'll make this work. I'm
okay.
gonna take it off the recording, and then
All
we
right.
got a lot of good.
I have a couple appointments in the morning, but I'll get to you. Well, my morning is your afternoon. I'll get to you before 6 o'clock your time.
Okay, that'll work. And then, like I said, get that whatever you need for Jesse. Contact him, and then he'll make contact with Dan for you, and you guys can
Okay.
start putting that together.
Yeah, because what I do, I'll reach out to the other agent on the land, and because ironically, it has a lot of history because it used to be the women open.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that because he think he can control this, the buyer, the last buyer I had backed out. I said, no, you can't tell us what we're gonna do. This they told me in uncertain terms, no, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. And I knew that wasn't gonna work. But I just know a lot of things that I just can't put my hand on, just like that's about 3,000 doors in Lancaster that the owners are behind on their mortgage payment. And I could not even deal with a balloon in 18 months.
Yeah.
How am I gonna do with a balloon fit 5K, 5 mil in
Oh,
18 months?
dude. Yeah, you don't want to do that. I'm not even going to take the time to figure it out because you don't want to do that.
Well, no, I
So-
mean, like, if there's a way to push that balloon 5 years down, yeah,
Wow. But
we
yeah,
will do it.
you're gonna have to have participation from somebody to do that, and you're not gonna
Yeah.
get it from them. You're gonna, but like I said, get everything together for Dan, and dude, he can make it. He's got so much stuff going on that he
Yeah,
can. He's got a lot of resources. Gwen's got resources, and we've
yeah,
got contacts that we're not even putting in the database. You know, it's
yeah,
kind of like you got to know somebody to access them.
yeah. But no, that's why I say, like, if I can get 2 out of the 10 deals that I'm looking at, I'll be a happy puppy.
Yeah, then you got to start, and then you got your. And then you start having people come to you, like Danny Galvin has people coming to him all the time, like I need to put 500,000 into something, and then he's like, I got a deal. You want to
Yeah,
be like him, and like where people just come to you and throw, they're trying to put money somewhere safe, and they come to you and said,
yeah.
hey, you're awesome. I'm gonna put 500,000. They know they're gonna see it again. They're gonna see a return on it,
Well,
and
that's
that's
what I'm trying to do because um
and his system. It's hard to explain. Dan's
yeah,
system is awesome because, like I said, it's a convertible. I mean, his products are just like unbelievable how they're structured, and they can get these deals done, and it's almost true 100%.
whatever I was like a little bit, how should I say, a little bit scared of that because I'm like, he presents something that I haven't heard of before, and in respect that,
Well, it's like Cameron's deal. It's like anything we talked about already. Um,
yeah,
but deal with Jesse on it, and Jesse can help you with it, and help you contact him and get all the stuff together that Dan requires. No, he's harmless. He's awesome. It's like he's business focused, and those kind of people are that way.
yeah,
They want to make money and they want to help you make money, and just kind of work with Jesse because he'll make it easy for you. He'll get a little
I-
cut. He'll get a little cut from Dan on that.
yeah, because I see him saying like, gotta do what gotta do.
All
But
right, cool. I think we're
I
gonna
want
shut
to
down.
be able to what was what I'm saying?
Oh,
I just took my medication and it's starting to affect me.
I'm taking my Flintstones vitamins. You know,
No,
I actually,
I'm not
actually,
doing it.
Jesse can tell you about Jesse can tell you about how I got a 30-day ban on Facebook for suggesting that Flintstones vitamins was the cure for COVID.
No, I'm not gonna do that. But no, I
Remember that, Jess?
I
Ringing the bell.
I'm trying to avoid surgery like a mad hatter and
Everybody's like, Nate's
taking
got suspended from
medication.
Facebook, and it's like when I came back, dude, I got suspended for suggesting Flintstones vitamins was the cure for COVID, and it was a joke, and I'm like, really?
No, this put me on this new medication. I had to take it at
This is
specific
3 years
time.
ago. Yeah, this is 3 years
And,
ago. No,
and
let's get all your stuff.
I wouldn't be talking to you at not 15. I would be in my medication state. But I took my medication so that I keep it on track. But it may
Yeah.
sound like a little loopy, but no,
Hey, we're all loopy. I mean, we were supposed to do this at 6 o'clock, and everybody's Zoom went haywire. And I wanted Justin here, and I've been promoting Justin. I'm like, I need Justin, because what he's got to do is just going to blow people's minds away. But
Okay.
we're going to make it work. So I am going to
Okay.
shut down for the night. Like I said, get
All
all your
right.
stuff, get everything to Jesse tomorrow. And then he
Okay.
can give it to Dan.
All right. So I'll send it to you by 2 o'clock my time.
Okay, cool. Well,
It
you guys are on the same time zone. He's in Maryland. He's in Massachusetts, and you're in
No,
Pennsylvania.
Daniel is in. I mean, Daniel. Daniel's in.
Daniel's in New Jersey.
Daniel is in Jersey.
Yeah.
We don't call New Jersey New Jersey. We call it Jersey. He's in
Okay.
Jersey, so that's why I say we were practically next door neighbors. Because I can get to him. I can't get to you in Colorado, not easily. But I can get to
Yeah.
Jersey. I can take a train to Jersey in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But no, but what I want to do is I'll reach out to the agents and I will send you what I have, and then you can forward to who you need to forward to, and we can
Yeah.
go there. But I
All
think
right.
that what we can do is, I guess what Daniel said, make money. That's
Yep,
the
exactly. All right, let's do that because Jesse just
okay.
logged off.
And also, I wanted to say that you might want to consider doing a Sunday thing with Justin Burke,
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him and see what's gonna work for him better.
as
'Cause,
opposed to a
yeah, we've
weekday.
done Monday nights because, like, when we started this, we were still in like football season, and we
Yeah,
still had stuff on Sundays, and we might do like trying to do like and we might have to do is like 5 to 10 people, like a smaller group, just to do it, so we can all we can kind of make it look really good and sharp, and then we can put it out to the bigger group.
yeah. No,
So, yeah,
because
that's what we're gonna
if you do a Sunday or a Saturday afternoon, I'm there. I have my volunteer thing that I have to do, but if you do it on a Sunday or a Saturday afternoon after 1, I'm there. And oh crap, what's that name of that web? But there's a website I meant to tell you. I'll tell you this. This is a website that you can get GPT to do your prompting for you.
Yeah, and I've got a few of those.
Okay.
So
And
I'm gonna send me what you got, because if I don't have it, maybe it supplements what I have. I've been trying to pick a lot of that stuff up, like
yeah,
different
because
sources. I got that list of 987 tools. I found another one today. So I'm getting all whatever you can send me, I'll appreciate, because I'll look at it and see if we can use it.
I got one where you can actually get it to, even though they can do you maybe 1,000 word article, you can
Yeah.
get them to generate a $10,000 word article, a book for you.
Well, I'm having Wizard of Oz rewritten.
No, this is not using Toto as a band. This is actually
Really?
between
I'm going to Toto in Colorado Springs, the concert in April 9th.
between
And
stuff.
I'm doing meet and greet, and I'm gonna tell them that, hey, you guys are in my new Wizard of Oz movie. I couldn't get Toto the dog, and you guys were cheaper.
Between the 3-column points and what's the other part that you bullets,
Yeah.
you can generate 10K.
Oh no, exactly. There's some awesome stuff out there, and I'm
But
playing around with it.
you have to
I'm
play with
spending a lot of
it.
yeah, I'm playing with a lot of it right now, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, so that's why I say and said that you have to play with it. But oh yeah, there's a Discord group that they have, and I haven't played with that Discord group. I haven't signed up yet for it, but they have Boohoo. I kid you not when I say this. Boohoo prompts. They can do can make you go Google over. And
Well, I'm all about that. So
I
I
spend like
I
5
just
days in there.
I'm on one Discord group, and I want to get rid of Discord, because it comes up on my laptop when I push start in the morning, and it's kind of annoying. And I kind of but I'll take a look at it. I'm gonna go ahead and log off because I've got to.
This is the Open AI.
Yeah,
Discord.
OpenAI is like, yeah, it's the company that developed it, the one that
Right.
yeah.
But
No,
they have a Discord group that and I'm trying to get this one guy to show me how he did this one thing, and he hasn't responded to me. But because see, like I was expecting to see Justin, and I'm like, okay, I want to be able to incorporate what I know and what he shows me and do that, because
well, I'll reach out to him in the morning and make sure we try to reschedule this and get it like a core group, including you. We'll get Kevin,
okay,
I'll get Dan, I'll get Jesse, we'll get a few other people, some of the key people, and might have to do a smaller event just to, and then we can record it and send it to the greater group.
okay,
Yeah, because I also want to do a tutorial on the databases.
yeah. Well, you're gonna. I think GPT-4 gonna be a better bet, because what you're gonna have to do is download Wire into the system, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah, exactly. And all this stuff.
Hunter.io into it, and they're gonna
Mhm.
generate your your email campaign, and
Yep.
then you're gonna have to do a blind.
Because I'm trying to do it where I can start doing an email to all the lenders on our databases. And I can
I'll
start
do
just doing that. I don't have to do a VA anymore. I can just send it out and say, hey, you guys, send me your current term sheets, your tear sheets and your programs.
Yeah.
And then once they don't respond within 30 days, I'll do a second one. They don't respond after that, I'll delete them from the database.
Well, I said you want to cut that down to 2 weeks, so
Yeah,
that
probably.
if they don't respond by 30 days, you can
Yeah, I can go 2 weeks and then
fix
30
them.
days for a final, and then
Yeah,
basically
because
I
30 days means 60. So you don't want to wait that long.
all right.
You want them to respond to you. They're gonna respond to you or
Yeah.
not.
Well, right now
So-
the VA is doing about. I hire them to do it for 30 days and get me back 500. You know, I give them I give them like two of the lists, and they'll go through 2 of the lists. So right now we got lists 1, 2, and 3 up. 4 and 5 are in verification. I'll get those back. I'll take down 2 and 3, send those out for verification, and then I'll be adding, you know, like the other 7 databases. So we're gonna have almost 20,000 contacts in the system by July.
And so they're gonna be based on region, like West Coast, East Coast, Midwest.
You might be able to do it on a location.
Okay.
It's one of the parameters, but you really want to. There's different ways to go into it. I got to explain it. I'm a little bit tired, but it's like there's different
Okay.
parameters. You can go find.
Yeah.
You want to find a specific kind of funding or lender first. That's the first thing you want to do.
Yeah.
And then lender, because there's a lot of lenders that could do like Vizio can do like 46 states and Kogo can do 43. So really, realistically, they can lend to you in pretty much in any state. So location is probably one of the last parameters you look for.
Okay,
mean-
because I got the link for the Vizio, but some of the doc didn't download because I was trying to read the docs and not read it on the monitor. I wanted to pull it up at my convenience so I can read it.
Yeah.
But the Coco one, that was a no-go. Nothing came up.
I'll have to send it to you manually. Some people have said the files tab sucks. I'd rather use a different system, but in the 2020, I used to send
Uh-huh.
everything to people manually, and it was a pain because somebody was like, "Hey, I didn't get that in time for the class," and then, you saw what happened tonight, and then when I have to sit there and I have to go to another, like my phone to try to bring somebody in or send something, it becomes a logistics thing for me. So
Yeah, no. I think, like I said,
I can send you the Kogo link directly, and you can just go right to their website or Vizio's website and go and get what you need right off their website. And
okay,
you don't even, so yeah, if you're looking to sign up to broker, I can send you all that in the morning. I can just fire away and send it to your on Messenger and just send you the
Okay.
link. You can go right to the link and just download right off their website.
Yeah, because I was sitting here, well, yesterday I was sitting thinking that I probably have to do some brokering and some, and that's less of a better word.
Maybe
wholesaling
not
some
now if
stuff.
you work with Dan on that deal.
Yeah, because I figure I had to do, like I said, I'm gonna have to do some brokering and some wholesaling in order to create enough funds to do what I want to do, which is to do some transactional and buy my own 1,000 doors. I need to get 1,000 doors this year, and I'm not gonna get them there by wish for it. You know what I mean?
No, we're gonna get it. We'll get it for you. I'm gonna get Dan working on it with you, and that's gonna
That's
help
why.
you.
That's why I sit here. That's why I was
Yeah.
sitting here saying that I was looking at Lancaster because I knew there was a lot of landlord that had basically are in default. But I said I can't do a 5 mil balloon
No, exactly.
in
No,
18
you're not
months. I
gonna have
can't
to.
do it.
Well,
I said,
just get all your stuff together for Dan and get it to me and Jesse tomorrow, and then I'll get you all the links in the morning for brokering. I'll just send
Okay.
you the website links directly in Messenger.
okay, but I will give Dan and Jesse the Colonial Park, the land deal, and the one over by Union Deposit Road. I'll reach out to them, and I said hopefully they reach out to me about by 1 o'clock my time would be 3 o'clock your time, so that you can have this information to forward to them. And if not, do that. But I just, like I said, I just cannot figure out who owns Colonial Park Mall. I can't figure it out because
We'll send me that information, the name of the mall and stuff, and I'll try to do some research.
corporations not pulling them up. And I said there must be a holding company.
Oh, exactly. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, so I
we'll
said,
do some we'll do some back channel kind of stuff and go, who the hell is this?
yeah, because I'm looking at the fact that if they can't cough up 300K, they in a lot of financial problems. And excuse me, as they say, deception is made for those who are brave to take the chance. You know what I mean?
Exactly. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna sign off for the night.
Okay, no problem.
I'll talk to you
I'll
later.
talk to you tomorrow. I
Okay.
look, okay, you have a good night now.
Okay.